A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to the Vlog-A-Thon 4.0. And just to clarify real quickly, still got a long ways to go, but I really don't see that as a problem because, after all, as long as I keep having topics nearby, I should be fine. As a matter of fact though, this one right here is something that I might as well talk about sometime now. Because this right here is a new Gillette Skin Guard. It's not that new really. I bought it back in July. It didn't end up using it until, well, the second week of September because I still had a Gillette Fusion Pro Shield razor at the time. This is the Skin Guard. The main difference between the Pro Shield and this is, well, first of all, it's a little plastic protector right here which is supposed to help avoid any nicks and cuts or accidents when you're not even using this. But when you take this off, then, well, a nice lush layer of different guards and blades that surround the head itself, and a few lubricating strips, which are pretty much enough to combat the likes of the Schick Hydro, pretty much. The Schick Hydro itself was pretty well known because of its type of lubricating strip that seems to really battle against others and create up to 40% less friction than most other razors would. This one right here, by my own counts though, is a whole nother story because by this point I suppose that the big thing about this that I probably don't have to worry about is having this thing end up getting drenched in water and the like, where it could easily rust or it might end up damaged, or likewise. But of course, let's not forget that, well, similar to what happened with the Gillette Fusion Pro Shield, well, that razor head ain't alone in this one. This is basically a bay of 4 extra heads in which I could easily pop out the old head with the ejector button and simply get a new head by just docking it in like so. And then I'm all good to go, but I don't need to use that one for right now because this one still has a lot of life left in it. Mainly for the fact that, well, this head in particular has had quite a bit of usage to it, but I can usually get a lot of use out of these types of heads nowadays, especially with the strips on top of them, which can really help to avoid chafing or scratchiness or sometimes redness, anything that could potentially develop. And because I shave in the shower, it makes it a much easier process than having to use a sink to where I'd have to have it cleaned out and the like. So of course this is a pretty good way to go here. And I do in fact have a second bay of 4 heads, so that in total makes for 8 heads. And I have this one which is 9 heads. And when I first got the razor itself, it came with 2 heads, so that's 2 of them with 8 with these 2 different docks right here. So that's in total 10 razor head attachments that I got to use for the new Gillette Skin Guard itself. And I gotta say, being that I can actually make these heads last for up to 5 months of continuous usage every week, then well, 5 months, 10 heads would potentially mean at least 4 years of this razor being used. So I feel like I've got a lot of time in my hands, really. I could probably last all the way up until around the end of 2024, possibly make it through to 2025 if I could, but until that really happens, I guess the time I have now is kind of dependent. So until any of those things happen in the future, I guess I'll just stick to what I have for right now. And if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.